there are two questions that every Medal of Honor recipient has asked himself or herself, and those two questions are, and we're facing a crisis, we're in combat, for example. Those two questions are, if not now, when? If not me, who? And every Medal of Honor recipient has answered those questions now and in me. And it's not, by the way, it's just not the military who does this. The Medal of Honor Society, which is the living Medal of Honor recipients, there's 91 of us, we now annually award, give a presentation to people who've done the same kinds of things we did in the military, but there's no Medal of Honor for the civilian side. Well, we started that, and in last month, March 25th, at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldiers in Arlington National Cemetery, the Medal of Honor Society, and I was it because I'm the president of our society, we awarded three. Two of those we awarded to civilians, and what those were, the first one was a young man. There were two brothers and a cousin swimming in Lake Madison, South Dakota. I grew up around there. I swam in that lake. It's got some currents down there that go through it. And the older brother saw the younger brother having trouble. He's being carried away in a current. He got into a jet ski, went back and got his cousin, got his cousin to the jet ski, and just as he got him pushed up there, he went under and never came up. He answered that young man said, if not now, when? If not, if not me, who? And he answered the question, and he died doing it. The other guy was also a young man driving down a road in California, by Stockton, California. The car in front swerved, accident, whatever caused it, turned upside down and slid into the ditch, which was a full of water. What do you call it? Full of water, the canal, and the car was sinking. And this young man, nothing said he had to stop and go back, but he answered that question. If not now, that person's going to be dead soon. If not me, who? There was nobody else right there. Turned the car around, went back there quickly, threw his coat off, kicked his shoes off, jumped in the canal. The car was just going into water. Somehow he was able to get the window down or break it, and he pulled this lady out who was injured and saved her life. And it's the same kind. That's courage, and that's all the attributes we hope that we will face. And every one of you, sometime in your life, maybe you already have come across a crisis kind of a situation, and you're being asked, are you going to do it now? And is there anybody else, or it's my job to do it? I've been asked, what goes through a person's mind to answer the question, if not now, when, if not me, who? And I can only speak for one person, and that was me. And I'm not going to talk about me as a Medal of Honor guy other than this thought process. When my wingman was shot down, it was talked about there, we went out we got some fuel, and we tried to get some other airplanes to go back and help my backseater and I, Harry and I. It was a single airplane, a Weasel. And there's always mix-ups in combat, and I couldn't get anybody else to go back in with me, so we topped off the fuel, and I said to Harry, we're the only ones who know where our wingman is. He knew where I was going with this thing. He said, yep, we're the only ones. And I said, nobody else can do it. Are you willing to go in with me? My pilot's the boss. And there was no question. Harry's man, he said, we're the only ones who know it. Let's get going. And we knew if we went in, single airplane, Magus Flax, close to Hanoi, we knew if we went in, the odds of coming out were less than 50-50. But you don't really give it a second thought. It's your job. You're trained to do it. Just like if you were driving down the street and you see a house catch fire and it's burning, and some little kids, top window up there, help, help. The odds are you're going to stop and run in that house. You're not going to give it a second thought. You're going to go save that little kid. It just happens, but it's kind of, people say, what's going through your mind? It's just, you're doing your job. Did I agree with the American cause of Vietnam War? The short answer is no. But let me give you just a little bit. If you're a young man or woman, you go in the military next year, whenever you're out, if you join the military and you're trained and you're doing your job, and the United States end up in a war with someone, Congress authorizes it. It's an authorized war. And they say, we need you, Sergeant, Captain, we need you to go. You've been trained for this for 2, 3, 4 years. You go. That was I was a professional military fighter pilot. And the war was declared by Congress and so on, and sanctioned. And so I went. In the 6 years I was, and then before I was shot down, in the missions I flew, we did not go to win the war, it seemed like. example, every day I was flying up near Hanoi, and the MiG base, the bad guy base up there, I could see the MiGs at Fukien Air Base by Hanoi. And I'd fly up there, I'd see the MiGs, I could see them in the revetment, I could see them taxiing out, I could see them run away, getting ready to take off. We couldn't touch them. We couldn't touch the base. That's done. And once they were airborne, then we could engage them. But if they got within 25 miles of the Chinese border, we had to back off because we couldn't get within 25. It was just a dumb war the way we fought. They never gave us a chance. I'm not saying we would or would not have, but we were given the opportunity to win. We should have thought we went on. So in hindsight, now I've been home a long time. I do not think Vietnam was in our national interest. I do not think we should have been in that war. But as a young guy, you're going to go if they say, oh, you're military, you're Navy. Fair enough?